practice like all the week before the show. I was like, okay, so I felt I was not working. Mais je te l'ai déjà dit. You know, I told you already. So.
I know.
Yeah.
The thing is, how is it like? You have to maybe just like define the fact and the result. Like, okay, the result it was blurry and like, okay, just what are the facts? Like you take care of.
I just take care of emotive of side effects, you know, as you did on me, as I did on you.
Yeah.
And that for me is still.
Yeah.
It's not defined, it's not clear, but it's still part of the work. Not that you're working.
Well, because I mean, when you're doing a duet like that, you know, there's this thing of like in a duet that I made like a few years ago. I remember one particular rehearsal in particular where it was just like I was leading the process a little bit more, but it was really very intimate also. And there was one day where it was just like I couldn't. I was just like everything horrible was happening, and basically like we had a personal talk that was about making it possible to keep going. And it was personal. It wasn't the work, but in a normal rehearsal process, I wouldn't come in with that stuff. So is that work?
Yes and no. Like we had once, like she came because I had those crazy ideas at the end a bit. Like the flower came at the end a bit and the makeup, and she was like, you know, please. Come, you stop it. Like she's like, it's.
You wanted it pink.
Yeah, like those like aborigine things, you know. And I'm like, but let's give it a try. And since we've been working for a year together, then I know how to try, you know, and to da. But still, we had that talk about creativity and blah 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 blah, and it was on a personal level, but still part of the work, you know. That we should rewrite discussions and going to sleep and think about it. So it's part of the work also. I will write it. Thinking of you every moment.
Yeah, we were married.
Thinking of and again.
But I think probably if we make a grocery list that looks totally different, that's probably really interesting.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Also, what's interesting about this thing at the Kampnagel was there was a lot of just like letting things be done to you, of kind of like the costume designer would
the shock thing.
Yeah, but even just like you would come one day and the costume designer would just like give you things to put on, or you would just stand there and they put the mic on you and they reach through your costume and they put it somewhere here. There's a lot of kind of passive, like if there's a whole production infrastructure, there's a lot of times where you kind of just stand or someone measures you for a costume and you're just kind of like someone like is touching you. Like,
it's like cold.
Yeah, but in the trend processes, that doesn't happen. I mean, and when you know, it's like when you're working with friends, it's like you bring your costume home with you. You carry it. You carry it as you ride on your bike.
Yeah.
You know.
But also, what I like, I learned a lot from our collaboration, but I think it can be really hard to work with friends actually, because we know what's going on the other side of the studio. So as a friend, if there's something wrong, you don't want to push that person, but as a choreographer, you still have a delay, then you're like, okay, the show is in 3 weeks, like, let's keep on. But then you don't want to force that person. And even in the improv, I had a tendency to go at Chloe and nurse her a little, just because.
Like here?
Yeah, today I was like a bit nursing and being like, okay, no, she's fine, I can do my own stuff. And I was, just because it's deep inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's It's really hard to work with Fred.